Hey guys, it's Kogus. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more Star Wars The Old Republic videos. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at this right side first, and then we're going to dive into the rest of the skill tree because this right side has some fancy little works that we're going to need to see. All right, so first we're going to have Vigilance, reduces the cooldown of Overhead Slash by 6 seconds and Blade Storm by 3 seconds. Okay, that's pretty normal. Plasma Brand finishes the active cooldown on Blade Barrage and generates 3 focus. Again, that's from the last build, nothing crazy, nothing new there. Burning Storm, Force Sweep, and Vigilant Thrust spread your burning effects to all targets that they damage if at least one of the targets is already affected by your burns. In addition, Cyclone Slash deals 25% more damage to burning targets. Really curious to see how I'm supposed to have Cyclone Slash when I don't see it on my ability list. I'm going to go over this a little bit later, but I do not see Cyclone Slash anywhere. I don't know if that's an overlook or not. BioWare, please, more info. Moving on, Overhead Slash sets the target ablaze for 5,000 weapon damage, elemental damage over 6 seconds, and beats the target down for 45 seconds. Beat down targets take 5% more damage from melee attacks. It's kind of normal. Robust, Force Sleep grants robust, providing immune to interrupt, stuns, knockbacks, and incapacitating effects for 4 seconds. Additionally, during this time, damage reduction is increased by 20%. Okay, so this is still normal. Nothing crazy new from that. Force Rush, Plasma Brand, Overhead Slash, Whirling Blade, and Vigilant Thrust increases the critical chance of your next Blade Storm by 50%. Last 15 seconds, stacks up to 2 times. Nothing new there. Keening, increasing the damage dealt by your burning effects by 15%. In addition, your Blade Barrage and burning damage has 30% chance to trigger Keening, which finishes the cooldown on Whirling Blade. Makes your next Whirling Blade free and usable on targets with any health level. This effect cannot occur more than once every 20 seconds. Smoldering Saber increases the critical chance of Plasma Brand, Vigilant Thrust, and burning effects by 10%. Okay, and now finally, Burn Master. For each of your burning effects active on an enemy target, you deal 5% more burn damage, up to a maximum of 15% more burn, while Plasma Brand, Burning Bland, and Burning Propose are each burning a target. Okay. None of this is really new. All of this is old, lackluster. Don't know why we can't have more over here and better selection over here on the left side. Hey guys, it's Kogus. We're going to be looking at part 2 of the PTS for 7.0 on Guardians. First thing we're going to be able to notice here is that all of our abilities are here. I've kind of got a focus Guardian set up, but let's take a look here. Looks like combat style is going to be a Jedi Guardian, and then if you're a subscriber, this will open up for you to pick a second combat style. I'm going to go ahead and guess you can pick Sentinel, Sork or Sage, I suppose, and Shadow would be one of the other 3 that you could pick. Not sure why you would pick a second Guardian, but hey, you do you. So here we have our different disciplines. We have our defense, vigilance, and force. And as you can see, as soon as you click on that, your ability list changes, and so does your ability tree. So let's go ahead. We'll keep it on the vigilance, since that is the main spec that I play. And we're going to see here our abilities down here have all changed for to that. I'm going to try to get this as close to my current setup that I have. And we're going to go ahead. This is kind of where I wanted to take a look at it and see the different things that we have available here. Plasma Brand is our first thing, so we'll be able to kind of take a look at the comparison. And then at level 15, looks like we have Branding Burst, which killing a target with direct burning damage while affected by Plasma Brand causes it to explode, hitting nearby targets. Interesting. All right. Cauterizing Brand increases the initial damage of Plasma Brand and reducing its cooldown by 2 seconds. And then Branding Smite, which is in development. While Plasma Brand is on a target, the critical hit chance of all your burn attacks on that target increase. So as a PvP player, I probably will not be using Branding Burst. There's only 4 enemies on the other team, so that seems to be out of there right away. Cauterizing Brand could be well used for that, or Branding Smite while Plasma Brand is on a target. The chances of all your burns. So since you're going to be using your Plasma Brand first or second as a dot, that could work out really well for you. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that one. Blade Barrage, dealing additional burning damage on each hit. So I'm going to have that selected. I'm going to go ahead and do this on a dummy real quick and just use Blade Barrage. Let's see. Next Whirling Blade can be used. So I don't think that's actually really working. Let's see. Because there's no burning damage being done. Nope, just that, unless the ability goes off with that. So I'll move on real quick. Cyclone Slash. Well, this is a little awkward, because I don't believe I see Cyclone Slash on the ability list for Vigilance. Very awkward indeed. I'm going down here. I do not see a Cyclone Slash. So do not use this if you are a Vengeance Juggernaut or Vigilance Guardian, because Cyclone Slash does not work out for everybody because it's not here. I have Blade Barrage. Yeah, it's just not there. All right, moving on. Blade Storm does damage to additional enemies in a cone in front and slows them by 50% for 6 seconds. We can test this out and see kind of, let's see, Blade Burst. So let's go ahead and get that started up. Let's see. And we're going to do this guy, Blade Storm, and then we should kind of see a different conal event. All right, and then I'm going to see this Blade Barrage again. Let's see if it does. Well, it resisted. Useful. Testing on a resistance. All right, moving on. We'll take a look at that again later. Steering Meditation. Each time you deal damage with a direct burn attack, you generate 1 focus. Activating combat focus resets the cooling of your Blade Storm. Okay, so with this ability, that's going to be a pretty strong passive. If you have issues with focus, it looks like pretty much every time you dot goes off, you're going to be able to do something. This is my Sundering Assault. So there's not going to be a real big need. Like, I'm going to be, looks like, yeah, my dots seem to be just, my focus just doesn't seem to go away. I have a very high amount of focus right now, and I've been using my abilities. So that's very nice. All right. And then Burning Focus, we'd have to have Blade Storm, I believe it was. Yeah. So Blade Storm on cooldown and then Burning Focus. Probably would not recommend this. First look, just because you can get 2 Blade Storms out, refreshes that dot. However, you definitely still want the crit from your other abilities. At an 8.6 cooldown, that's going to be only like 4 or 5 abilities away from being used once you've applied it once. So not a big fan. Oh, there's our awe. Oh, trusty awe. How I do not want to, how I must keep you. All right. I believe I have awe there on my regulars. And then we have critically hitting a burn attack reduces the cooldown of your combat focus by 1 second. Combat focus purges movement impairing effects. So this is kind of one of the current abilities, but with a little extra spice where you generate 1 extra focus. Not sure if I like to have the idea of picking between the two. I will probably pick and keep my awe if I still have my force bound. If not, that's going to be a little bit of a tougher choice. Then we have Whirling Blade as our next ability. All right, so now we have Unyielding Justice. Increases the range of Blade Storm to 30 meters, but Blade Storm deals reduced damage by 10 meters, beyond 10 meters. Additionally, Force Push deals 20% more damage and grants Unyielding Justice, allowing your next Blade Storm to deal full damage regardless of the distance of the target. This is currently one of the abilities that is not used. You generate 4 focus when stunned, immobilized, or put to sleep, or knocked around. With all the other things that are generating focus, I really don't see a need for that. Battlefield, getting attacked reduces the active cooldown of your force sleep by 1 second. That's an easy one. Easy pick. Not even thought about. Maybe this for PvE, this for PvP. That's a simple choice. Oh, this is frustrating right here. Steward Defense. All AoE damage is reduced by 60% for 15 seconds after challenging call is activated. That is one of your big AoE damage reductions right here. That guy right there. Love that. Definitely needed. War Master. Force Leap grants unyielding, granting immunity to impairing effects that pushes or pulls you around. This is nice for PvP. It's nice for regs. It's nice, but not necessarily needed. Some people would combine that with just what we have as Vigilance. I really don't see it. Second Wind reduces the cooldown of Resolute by 30 seconds and causes the Resolute to heal you for 10 seconds of your maximum health when used. This is upsetting. This is upsetting because having to choose between something that's in Skillful. So currently the Second Wind is in Skillful. It's the very first ability that you have and really doesn't compete with much. And the fact that you have to either pick Second Wind or your AoE damage reduction is pretty infuriating. The self-heal is pretty nice. I use that sometimes in PvP. AoE damage reduction is nice as well, just to have both of them, since there wasn't really much of a choice between Skillful and Mastery to be like, all right, I don't need one over the other. That's a little frustrating. So I really wish I didn't have to pick between the two of those. Not cool at all. Level 70. This is still infuriating. Don't know why this is still here. Devs, between the Vigilance Guardian and the Concealment Operative, the Operative still has 4 extra abilities compared to the Vigilance Juggernaut. Therefore, why am I having to pick between the 3 of these? Please fix this. Saber Reflect, Mad Dash. Let me pick 2 out of the 3 again, not 1 out of the 3. We're talking about an ability purge or pruning. Why are Concealment Operative still having 4 extra abilities to the Guardians when the Operative is already a much stronger class in general? Not very fun, not very nice. But let's go over this. I digress. Temporarily increases your maximum health by 30% and damage reduction by 15% for 10 seconds and removes all cleansable effects. When the effect ends, the health is lost. Okay, cool, great. It is the cleansed version. However, because you lose that health, it is a big give and take, because it temporarily reduces. If you are a PvPer, you will lose that health when that goes away, and it is going to do damage to you. So it is nice to have, but it is a double-edged sword already. So why am I having to pick between a double-edged sword and a ability that has already been a staple for us? Okay. Just okay, that's all I got. Reflects all direct single target damage, force, and tech abilities back to the attacker. For 5 seconds, the damage done by each reflect is capped, and the cap rises with each new rank of the ability. Okay, that's something we're okay with. All right, and then Blade Blitz quickly rushes 20 meters, dealing damage to enemies in your path and increases your defense chance by 100%, while blitzing can be used while immobilized and purge movement impairing effects while active. All right, that's nice. Why do I have to pick between this and Saber Reflect when operatives still have both roles? So please explain why operatives are getting a strong favor over guardians in this case. Since we are able to see operatives on PTS currently, and they just have more abilities in general. More abilities, which are just passives that they just get. All right, now looking on. Purifying Sweep for the defense disciple. Discipline, force sweep slows the targets. It's damage done by 60% for 10 seconds for the Vigilance and Focus discipline. Force sweep and vigilant thrust sunder the targets. They do damage for 45 seconds. Sundering targets have the armor rating decreased by 20%. Okay. Gathering strength. Whenever your movement is impaired, you gain 10% damage bonus to your next ability that you consume focus. This effect can stack up to 5 times and last 15 seconds. And then you have through piece, reduces the cooldown of focus defense by 30 seconds. All right, so again, we are having to pick between masterful and heroic abilities right here that used to not conflict with each other, and now they completely conflict with each other. I'm confused because these are two abilities that I would recommend to use independently, currently live, but they are not conflicting. However, here we have 3 sets of abilities where we have big conflicting things going on. Let me double check this Blade Barrage. Let's see, it's this guy, right? Dealing additional burning damage on each hit. All right, so we saw 1, 2, and then so resisted. So maybe a little bit extra damage. Blade Barrage does need a buff in DPS, but not like this. Not where I have to select that between different abilities. Not helpful at all. All right, we got some people testing out their things over there. So here's a second look at Guardians and Juggernauts. Guardians abilities. Still not very impressed. Still lacking. Still a why are you treating Juggernauts so poorly? Let us pick at least 2 out of these 3 abilities. Why am I having to pick between things that are currently in Masterful and then Heroic and in Skillful? Literally all 3 of these are in different. Some of these have different tiers. Doesn't make sense. Reorganize. Get Skillful into Skillful, Masterful into Masterful, and Heroics into Heroic. There shouldn't be a reason why some of these are so low down here that are like, hey, you can do this. But up here at the higher levels, they're doing that. You know, one is going to be in Skillful, one in Masterful, and then one is in Heroic, I believe. At least I know that is true for this guy. So, not happy about this. Again, it feels like you guys are just kind of like, oh, let's change it up and make Skillful, Masterful, and Heroic. No, just keep. We're good. We were fine with having to pick what was in Skillful, with what was in Masterful, and what was in Heroic. You have already done enough damage to the class because I don't have my Cyclone Slash at all. Previously, I suggested combining Cyclone Slash with Strike and Slash, just so that you want to go with pruning abilities. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's combine some abilities. Let's make Blade Barrage stronger. But you guys look like you have kept Riposte. Not helpful at all for Vigilance Juggernaut. There's no reason to keep Slash and Strike, but you got rid of Cyclone Slash. So I am very confused, very negative thoughts. Like, come on, guys. It's like you have some good thoughts and then you go the opposite way with how we want to get these abilities pruned. Again, we have 4 less abilities than the operative, and the operative still gets to choose some very strong things. So please give the Guardian some love, give the Vigilance Guardians some care that it actually deserves. This is still disheartening. Hopefully round 3 of PTS is going to be better, but until then, guys, I'll catch you next time.